Basically, the way this league works is it's all in time trial mode, and they will alternate picking tracks. Hold on, let me sync this for a second. Okay, they will alternate picking tracks. The first one to win 4 tracks wins that set. Oh, as you see Dan getting smashed by the thwomp. Zoki losing a lot of speed there, but making it through. So yeah, the first one to win 4 races wins a set, and the first one to win 3 sets wins a match. So it's kind of like tennis scoring in ways. Zoki out to a big lead because of that thwomp hit from Dan. This is a very high variance track. Any sort of thwomp hit at all, and you're going to have a big time loss. So even for players that are world class like these guys are, one little hiccup will make it very tough the rest of the way, especially since Dan's going slower than he usually goes at this point. So the patterns will all be off because these thwomps run on cycles. As you can see, another big hiccup there from Dan. And he's now paused, which the rule is if you pause, that's an automatic loss. So I guess he's giving up. And Dan is our audio as well. So if Dan is paused, we will not have any audio. Okay, Dan is restarted. So Zoki's going to win this one. Okay. Okay, so Zoki's going to finish with a 2:23.55. And Zoki will go up 1-0. Okay, and we'll go to the next track. Okay, Sherbertland has been chosen. So they are readied up, and we will start in a sec. Okay, it looks like Dan's stream's a little ahead, so hold on. Oh, and Zoki, the first crack jump, goes in the water. Basically on this track, the crack jumps are going to save a lot of time, but with great risk comes great reward. And Zoki just pushing it a little too hard there. It's going to be a big time loss, though, as you have to wait for the freezing animation, and it just takes a really long time. So if Dan can stay clean, this is his race to lose. Dan coming through at a 39.22. Zoki way off the pace. These penguins are also on cycles, like the thwomps in Bowser's Castle. So if you're on your usual pace, as you can see, Zoki going off there as well. This one is pretty much all but over. But as I was saying, these penguins are also on cycles. So if you get off your pace that you're used to, and you normally go to the right or to the left of a penguin, that might not be the case. So it is a little tricky. Yeah, period. I would assume that he knows that they're somehow he has the stream up, or he's listening to the audio, or something. It's just too big of an advantage not to take advantage of. But I know there are a couple guys that like to be in the dark, I think, so. Dan with the swag ending there. Gotta love it. 157.88 for Dan. Zoki coming through at 221.84. Okay, we are all tied up at 1. Hopefully we'll get a clean race from both these guys pretty soon. Okay, while we're waiting on a pick from Zoki, okay, it seems like Dan is watching the stream. Maybe Zoki isn't. Just a little bit of insight for you guys. Okay, Zoki said MF, which I'm going to assume is Moo Moo Farm. And these guys will be racing the crazy short course of Moo Moo Farm with the moles. So... Okay, and we're off. So there are a lot of moles on this course, and especially on this last turn before the end of the lap, you'll see a bunch of molehills, and how tight these guys go and how much they want to risk is going to be a big... okay, you can see both players playing it safe there, going wide of the moles. And 29.47, yeah, this is very close. Within about 0.1 of each other. So yeah, but this is an interesting track because if you get behind on this track, you can really push it and try to cut through these moles aggressively instead of going wide. Okay, Zoki hitting a mole there. Not quite getting wide enough to play it safe. So Dan's through in 29. So he's opened up about a 2-second lead now, almost 2 seconds, which is how much a mole hit costs. So, oh, Dan missing the EMT there. That'll cost him a little bit of time, but if he can stay clean, he'll have this one. So let's see the approach. Up tight along the fence, which is what you want. Oh, Dan hits a mole. Oh, and Zoki hits a mole. Wow. Man, Zoran definitely could have taken that if he had stayed clean. But Dan's going to win 130.66 to 133.19. It is 2-1 Dan. And let's see where we're going next. Okay, Dan has selected Koopa Troopa Beach. So we're going to the beach. So shortcuts are not allowed in this, for the most part. This course, this ramp jump that they will do, is technically not a shortcut because the developers intended it in the game, and that's kind of what the community decided on. So. This course is going to be a lot about the same as other courses, just staying close to the rocks, keeping a really tight hug against the walls, hitting your mini turbos. And these guys both going for that ramp mini turbo. It saves a lot of time. It's a little risky because if you don't make that jump, it's pretty much over. There is a backup you can do to get up there, but it's a little tricky. Dan with a slight lead here so far, coming up to the jump on lap 2. Dan and Zoki getting clean. And we'll see what the splits are at the end of this lap. 32.28, 32.48, so Dan has gained 0.2 on that lap. And I believe he had a slight lead before that as well. So he's opening it up just a little bit. I can't afford any big mistakes, but okay, and he gets in. They both get in cleanly. Yeah, this should be Dan. And Dan's gonna take that one with a 136.70 to 138.28. Dan is now up 3-1, and it is set point. Yeah, Dan, come on. Let's keep it, let's keep it a little dramatic. Okay. Zoki has picked Chaco Mountain. This is a highly technical course. It's really just about keeping a tight line and just hitting your mini turbos. Of course, this is non-shortcut, so there will be no weather tanko attempts and no hopping the walls. So we're driving around the long way. Dan claiming he got a world record on. I don't think we're on that big of a delay. Okay. Yes, there is a summoning salt video out there. It's a pretty good one. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. And here we go. Okay, it looks like... Okay, it looks like they're synced. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, they're just trying to keep as tight of a line as possible, hitting their mini turbos. These boulders come down, they can flatten you, but it's not really that much of a concern. These hills at the end of the lap can actually be a big difference. Oh, Dan with a tumble there, but that's going to be where these guys are going to use their mushrooms anyway. So it actually didn't cost him that much time. But yeah, as I was saying, the hills at the end can cost you like 0.2 seconds. So it can be quite a big time loss if you land on the uphill part of the hill. So their goal is to land on the downhill part and gain speed. But that can be a little tricky, and even for the best players in the world, they can't do it every time. So that can be the big difference between winning and losing this one. As you can see, they both got good hills there. So it's a very close race, and it could come down to those hills on lap 3. Yeah, I don't know, Paul Brown. I don't know if I deserve to be in there with those guys. But thank you. This is very tight down the stretch. Let's see who gets the good hills. Oh, they both got good hills. Oh my gosh. And Dan is going to take it 157.54. Wow, it was wow, what a race. They almost finished identical with the I guess a little bit of the slightly off, just ever so slightly. Okay, let me 157.54. So that will win set 1 for Dan. And we'll head into set 2. Now, because Zoki lost set 1, he will get the first selection in set 2. And we'll see what he chooses. Okay, he has chosen DK. And they're off. So the jump on this one is kind of tricky and can save a lot of time if these guys do it right, but too far to the left and they'll be in the water. It looked like 2 pretty decent jumps there. As you can see, I'm shrooming over that area to avoid too many coconut hits. That's going to be the best spot to shroom. It's the fastest and saves the most time. Also, this cave part coming up can be pretty technical. You have to... Oh, Zoki getting caught up on the fence there. That's going to put him back a couple seconds. Yeah, as you can see in that cave part, these guys mini turbo up the hill, and then they have to mash the jump button, all while trying to triple tap A, which gets you going to speed as fast as possible. Dan with a pretty aggressive jump there. He's going to be safe. Zoki a good jump as well. But yeah, Dan with this lead now, if he can avoid making any mistakes, this is his race to lose. Oh, and Zoki trying to go up that hill too much, and yeah, he tried to shroom to recover, but unfortunate from him. Dan hitting the wall before the end, so a pretty weak jump from Dan, but it's really not going to matter at this point. Zoki's just too far behind. This is a very random course, and just one little thing can lead to huge time losses. So we've already seen this course being picked a lot by the lower ranked player in a given match. Dan's going to come through and win this one with a 2:15.53. Okay, so Dan is up 1-0 in the next set, and let's see where we're going. Oh, wow. Okay. We're going Rainbow Road Joker. So Dan is using his Joker, and we'll get started here in a sec. So it'll be interesting to see if either of these guys go for the spiral. They're both for sure capable of it. Zoki has a 3 out of 3 spiral. I'm not sure what Dan's PR is. So Joker means that shortcut is allowed. And Dan hits the spiral. Zoki struggles and goes down. So big advantage for Dan right now, and you would expect him to play it safe the rest of the way and force Zoki to come back in this one. What a clutch play by Dan. That is not an easy shortcut at all. Zoki is backward hopping up the ramp. Oh my gosh. And it goes way off the track. But man, what a play by Dan to go for it and just hit it. Maybe one of the clutchest plays we've seen so far in this entire league. Oh, and Zoki hitting the okay, Dan's gonna go for it again here. Oh, and he's gonna miss it. Zoki did hit the trigger the thing by hitting the track, so he's on the right side of lap 1 now, but Dan gonna go around the long way. No, Kyle, I did not forget about that. That was pretty epic as well, but I mean, if we're comparing Spiral to a simple wall jump, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go with the Spiral. Yeah, I actually had no idea. They both went for the Spiral lap 1, but I had no idea if someone was going to play it safe and maybe, like, try to see if their opponent hit it first. Because you can always go for it lap 2 and lap 3, so... but they both showed some cojones and went for it. And Dan hit it. Zoki did not. Okay, Zoki's attempts, and yeah, he's just gonna run into the railing. I think he tried to do it slightly too fast. Okay, and we have a pause, so Zoki has given up now. So Dan should be able to win this one if he doesn't pause accidentally, or I don't know what else would lead to a disqualification, but oh, he's going for it for the fans! Oh, he misses again. Okay, so 1 for 3 from Dan, but is he gonna hop up the hill and just do the regular shortcut? Okay. As you can see, this kind of takes a while, so if you miss it after doing this, it's a pretty big time loss. Come on, Dan. Let's go. He technically has to finish the race, Kyle. Okay, regular jump. Here we go. Looks good. Looks good. Hit the B button, Dan. There you go. All right. And I guess Zoki has restarted. Oh, and Zoki hits it on his first practice attempt. Okay, wow. Proving once again that both these players are very high caliber. Yeah, you as far as practice goes, there's no practice. I'm pretty sure like warming up may not even be allowed. I don't know. I guess we were just kind of waiting to get started, but like once it starts, that's it. Oh, at the first pick. So like once the pick's been selected, that's it. You can't, whatever you do goes. Dan gonna slow down, do some crazy stuff before the finish. And 5:52.49, I believe, so we'll log that. Okay, Mario Raceway will be the next track. So Mario Raceway is a very short, fun course where these guys will attempt a mushroom cut, which saves just a little bit of time every lap, probably maybe around a second and a half throughout the race, give or take. And it's not too difficult, but if you jump at the wrong time, you can have some big time losses. Okay, so streams are kind of close. So yeah, here's the mushroom cut coming up, as you can see. Oh, okay, yeah, see, Zoki does not make it, Dan makes it clean, and yeah, that'll be a huge time loss for Zoki. Yeah, it's really tough to come back from that too, because especially if the other players like watching a stream, they can just play it safe. I mean, we'll see what Dan does. Dan's the world record holder here, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Yeah, clean cut from Dan. Zoki having trouble with that cut again. Dan with a huge lead now. And Dan 3 for 3, showing why he's the world record holder here. That's a good question, Andy. I don't know the answer to that one. Dan coming through at 128.06. Dan will go up 3-0 in set number 2. Okay, the pick is Yoshi Valley. So this is another short, random course. A lot of spinies on this course. People can spin outs, and there's a hairpin jump that they will do where they can fall. So this will be interesting. Okay, you can see them, they're going to take the fastest path through the spinies. It's a little dangerous, but this is the fastest. Zoki getting a little hung up in the wall there. That's going to be a decent time loss. This hairpin jump is technically not a shortcut. It's just something the community's decided. And but both players make it through cleanly. Dan with a little bit of a lead, though. His stream is also just like slightly ahead, so something to keep in mind. Yeah, Dan with about a 0.7 second lead, looks like. And they both get through lap 2 cleanly as well. Yeah, both getting the hairpin. So, pretty good race so far. We'll see if they go aggressive on lap 3. Lap 3 is probably the toughest to get through those spinies in terms of the patterns that they're on. Oh, and Dan hits one. He's going to spin out. Zoki hits one as well, but Zoki spin out, he got through that uphill section, so a little bit faster for Zoki. Yeah, this is very close. Oh, and Zoki hits the egg. Okay. That'll do it. $147.27 from Dan. Gonna take it. Okay, so that'll do it for set 2. Dan is up 2 sets to 0. If he wins one more set, that'll be the match. Again, because Zoki lost the set, he will select first. So let's see where we're headed. Okay, we're going back to DK. Also, after set 2, all the tracks reset, so all tracks are allowed to get chosen at this point again. Jake, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. It's amazing that it still hasn't hatched. Okay, and we're off. So again, the jump is going to be a big part of this. If you can get a clean jump, 3 out of 3. Oh, Zoki hitting the wall there, almost going to the wrong side of that thing, which would have been a massive time loss. But he does get through it. And these players are very close. What's up, Steve? How's it going, man? Okay, so a little bit faster from Dan there, but definitely still anyone's race. Oh, Zoki hitting the left wall right before the jump. That's not a good jump from Zoki. He does get over, but he's going to have to take the slow, long way around and save that shroom. But he will be able to shroom up the cave. Oh, and Dan, a little bit of a hiccup on that bridge wall. Not as bad as Zoki's in the first race, but it's definitely going to cost him some time. This is actually very close. Oh, and Zoki takes the turn too. Wow. And that's, yeah, that's too big of a time loss. So if Dan can stay clean over this jump, and it looks good, yeah. So Dan makes it through. This thing should be over. And Dan is going to come through with a 2:16.52 and take it. Man, that was crazy. It was very neck and neck. Zoki going for the shortcut swag finish, 2:26.63. Wow, you gotta love it. I did not get Dan's time. If someone could. Okay, I didn't get either of their times. Shoot. Okay. Okay, so we'll just put in 216. Okay, so Dan is up 1-0 in set 3. And we're going to Banshee. Okay, and we're off. So, this is a very, very dark, spooky course, as you can see. Basically, the shroom spot's pretty interesting here. What they're going to do is, after this zigzag turn, they're going to slide, drop, and shroom. And that's going to be the best time saver that there is on this track. Best spot to use your shroom. Some lower level players use it around this turn at the end of this lap, but there will be none of that today. These are very high level players. So. 41, okay, 41 and change, 42 and change, down with the slight lead through lap 1. And a side note, Zoki's screen looks quite a bit darker than Dan's screen. I hope he's looking at something a little bit brighter, because that could be tough to navigate on that zigzag part. Yeah, I think Dan has opened up this lead. Zoki's grazed the wall a few times. Looks like 41.67, yeah, 43.12. So about a second and a half difference on that lap. Dan is opening it up. Oh, Dan, a little bit of a hiccup, but he still is okay. Still has the lead. And Dan will win this one with 2:05.45 and 2:07.89. So Dan up 2-0. 2 races away from a match victory. And we have a joker being used, Frap Snowland shortcut. These players are ready, and we will get started in a second. Just doing the countdown. So the way the shortcut works on this track, for those that don't know, these guys will turn around as fast as they can, go to the bridge, turn around. Without hitting the main part of the course, they will shroom into the snow, passing the finish line, and get credit for a lap. They will do that 3 times. Oh shoot, okay, let's do it. Okay, Zoki with a very good lap 1. Dan's struggling a little bit, but I think he got through it. Yeah, Zoki way ahead here. Good effort from Dan, but yeah, Zoki's going to take this one. 29-34. Very good for a one try. Nailing that AB spin start. 29-34. I'm not exactly sure what Dan got. We'll just give him a... This is wrong, but... Okay. So it is 2-1. 34... Oh, 34-22. Okay, let me put that in. Okay, so it is 2-1 Dan, and is Dan's pick. Looks like we're going to Calamari. So Calamari is a pretty interesting track. The way these guys use their shrooms, there are trains that there's a train that runs around this track, and if they are too fast or too slow, the train is going to be a big problem for them to get through the crossing. So they really need to be careful with how they use their shrooms. Oh, good. Okay, so everything started at the same time. Dan took a little bit more aggressive approach at the beginning with these hill hops. He's going to get out to a slight lead here. Earlier in the Beck versus Matthias match, we saw them go for a 1-0-2 shroom strategy. But if either player is too slow, you're probably going to see the same thing from these guys. But they may or may not have to use one on lap 2 if they're too slow. So keep an eye out for that. And Dan again with a little bit of a lead, about 0.7. Both players beating the lap 2 train, no problem. Zoki electing to use his shroom. He may feel like he's a little bit behind pace, or it could be tough to beat the lap 3 train. Dan's saving his shroom. Yeah, Dan still ahead, even with one extra shroom in his pocket here, so... And it looks... Oh, Zoki tries to go for the train gap and misses. I couldn't tell if Dan went for it or not, if he just caught the end of the back of that train. Yeah, Dan's going to take this one, it looks like. Unfortunate from Zoki. He just got there a little too fast, and you have to wonder if he shouldn't have used that shroom on lap 2. Dan coming through at 2:05.45. Dan is up 3-1 now, and it is Zoki's pick, and we are on a potential match point, ladies and gentlemen, so... Okay, Frapp Snowland has been chosen, and Joker was not specified, so this will be the regular Frapp Snowland course, going around the long way, in and out of the snowmen. So as you'll see, they want to keep it as close as they can to the snowbanks. They'll do a little hop over that jump. And so this mushroom spot is extremely important and usually determines who's going to win the race. Basically, they try to aim in between those two snowmen for the most direct line to this tunnel area. So. Dan with a slight lead, looks like about a second maybe? Maybe a little bit less. Oh, Zoki missing an MT there. He'll fall a little bit further behind. Good jump from Dan. Zoki going a little bit to the left there. It's not a bad jump. It's just not going to be good enough to beat a player like Dan. He's going to have to step it up on lap 3. Dan's opened up a decent lead now. 40-22, 41-16 on that lap. Opening it up another almost 0.9 seconds. Dan's final jump, and he's going to keep it safe going to the left of the snowman. He's ahead by enough to where Zoki a good jump as well, but a little bit of a hiccup there. Yeah, that's going to do it. Dan will take it 2 minutes flat 95. So that'll do it. Dan is your winner. 3-0. Good game, guys. Some very high quality races there. Dan was just a little bit stronger today. Thank you guys for coming out and watching another episode of Mario Kart 64 One Try League. There is a match later tonight. It's in a little under 2 hours, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So if this is something that interests you, we welcome you back for that. And yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Good game to our competitors, and I will see you around. For Mario Kart 64 community, I am Brian, briz879. Be sure to follow these guys if you enjoy high-level Mario Kart action. I am signing off. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.